In the last few days, we've been highlighting some of the bugs and issues that could plague Elden Ring's PvP. But today I want to address why I'm positive about Elden Ring and why Elden Ring could be the best PvP Souls game to date. Number 1, the open world. The open world being so large with this incredible scale makes it so that every invasion feels different. The open world nature of the game makes it so that you'll rarely ever fight in the exact same location. Some invasions you might be invading the same map or in the same open world space, yet you'll be fighting in slightly different spots. For instance, you could be fighting in those ruins, next to those ruins, in the swamp far from the ruins, etc. Even if it's the exact same location. We could compare this to Dark Souls 3's Ring City, which is a pretty big map by its standard, yet you'll always go and fight through the exact same spots. Say the same tunnel, ambush at the exact same few choke points. In Elden Ring, the open world nature makes it so that there's a lot more variations to every single invasion. Speaking of variations, number 2, varied attacks. Ah yes. The reason why the combat in Elden Ring is promising is mainly because of the newly added attacks. Having more attack options means more potential for mix-ups and varied gameplay. You won't see nearly as much boring R1R1 now that there's 2 neutral standing attacks, 2 running attacks, 2 jumping attacks, a sneak attack, a counter attack, customizable weapon art, power stance, etc. The possibilities here are way higher than any other Souls game. I can't wait to get my hands on Elden Ring again at launch and get to try some of the other classes that we didn't get to try in the network test. Number 3, passive Poise. Passive Poise plus Hyper Armor helps balance small and large weapons. An issue that has always been plaguing the Souls games was the disparity between large and small weapons and their effectiveness in PvP. While it's pretty early to make a final judgment on this aspect of the game, the somewhat deliberately weak passive Poise is just enough to prevent small, fast weapons to have a significant edge over everything else. The addition of Hyper Armor is a nice complement to such mechanic. I do hope they give Hyper Armor to more weapons, as we only got a taste of Hyper Armor through the Great Lance and various Ashes of War in the network test. Great Swords, for instance, could really use some Hyper Armor. Number 4, weapon art customization or Ashes of War customization. Speaking of Ashes of War, they are one of the best, if not the most interesting and enjoyable feature for both PvE and PvP when it comes to build making. The build variety and customization that this new edition opens up is beyond anything I could have hoped for. It simply makes build making that much more fun and varied. I can't wait to see what type of combinations people will come up with. Number 5, custom inventory layout. Ah yes, Swappa? Swappa? Yeah, Swappa. Swapping just got a huge facelift with the welcome addition of custom inventory layouts. This is really any swapper's wet dream when it comes to PvP. This single quality of life feature adds another layer of depth when it comes to build making. Now, any build you create will have an element of weapon placement. So 2 builds with the exact same stat could vary greatly simply by the weapons they carry as well as how they are arranged in the inventory for quick access. It's almost like creating your own combos and attack variations. Number 6. Small details like spells that are attacks in the form of consumables. You might not have noticed this if you didn't get your hands on the network test, but Elden Ring brings back the consumables that cast magic spells similar to how Bloodborne handled magic, but now in addition to the magic casting itself, anyone can use these consumables. This is another feature that increases the amount of options one has in PvP for various mix-ups. Number 7. Parkour. Parkour through jumping and platforming adds a new layer of depth to invasions. It's a big gameplay change that isn't necessarily revolutionary in a general sense, but that is yet groundbreaking for a Souls game. While Sekiro introduced this new dimension, this is the first time we get to experience this in PvP. It is definitely a welcome addition, especially for invasions, and opens up so many possibilities for creative kills and ways to play. Number 8, the spells. There isn't much to say about the spells, except that they added a whole bunch of new spells that are extremely varied and that look a lot more usable. It's definitely a welcome addition to see some spells getting some love. Number 9. And finally, the visuals. Yeah, the visuals. I know some people don't like the Elden Ring graphics, but as far as I know, they are some of the best that we've ever experienced in a Souls game PvP. So it does feel nice to just be playing around the beautiful world with various weather effects. There's also a lot more positive to talk about, but these are some of the main positive features that I've noticed while playing in the network test. Let me know what you guys have preferred so far. Also, I want to point out that there are a lot of negatives too, but those are also mainly related to bugs and things that could easily be fixed. Assuming the issues that we mentioned in our other vids get fixed, we could have the best PvP Souls game to date. I advise all of you to check out this mega thread on Reddit by my friend Gabri and leave some feedback. This is all for me today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys up next time. Take care now.